So, Allah says, وَمَا تَفَرَّقُوا إِلَّا مِن بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِن رَبِّكَ إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى لَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُم. Had it not been for a word that had already come to pass from your master, their case would have been dealt with already. They would have been judged already. This is a very important thing. Allah says these people who disagree, even after they have knowledge, they deserve to be executed right now. The only thing holding their execution from Allah right now is Allah decided that their punishment will come later. That's the only thing that's holding it back. It's like the axe is hanging above, but it hasn't been let go yet. Had it not been for Allah's word. There's another benefit of this, among the several, one at least I want to highlight. People of knowledge, when they disagree, it seems like there's no end to the argument. Because especially people of knowledge in the deen, this one is quoting an ayah, that one is quoting an ayah, this one's quoting a hadith, that one's quoting a hadith. This one's quoting a scholar, that one's quoting a scholar, and the average Muslim who doesn't have much knowledge is it's like a tennis match. He's going dalil, 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 dalil. You know, it's like a tennis match. He's going back and forth. He's like, man, these both people have arguments. I don't even know. This is confusing. Allah says the only one that will resolve this verdict for people will be who? Himself. He will solve this problem. Because you know, and we're learning something very powerful here, when you have knowledge, you can make anything seem true. You have a power over people. You're very convincing. Like the car mechanic can convince you, you need to burn your car and buy a new one from him. He can convince you. Knowledge can be very convincing, even for the wrong thing. It can be. It can be. You know, and actually this is something Iblis had. Iblis didn't just tell Adam alayhi salam, eat from the fruit, just eat from the tree, go for it. It's a good idea. He actually tried to convince them and said, you know, I know something you don't know. You want to stay here forever? Because I got this knowledge. And I mean well for you. I'm looking out for you. إِنِّي لَكُمَا مِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. I'm looking out for you, man. That's what Iblis did. So knowledge can be very convincing, and therefore it's very possible for people to fall behind a leader, a knowledgeable leader, like sheep. And mindlessly even. I've seen forms of this that disturb me, like they bother me. Muslims are supposed to be, we have the utmost respect for our scholars. At the same time, we are free thinkers. We are free thinkers. That's what makes Islam what it is. It's not a religion that shuts your brain off, it activates your brain. You learn to think clearly. You learn to ask the scholar, you said this, what's this based on? Oh, this basis, okay, I understand. That's not insulting the scholar. That's reinforcing the values of our deen. If Umar bin al-Khattab can be questioned about his fatwas, what alim after that can't be questioned? And you know what culture we've developed? We've put the knowledgeable so high under the assumption elevating the knowledgeable is the same as elevating knowledge. That's not the same. We've put them so high. I've been in situations in masajid, some sheikh said something in his speech, and somebody who heard this for the first time, they went up to him and said, where did you get that from? I don't understand. I thought there's a hadith that says otherwise. I thought there was an ayah that contradicts this. Or I heard from another alim this. I just like to understand. He's not picking a fight, he's just asking a question, man. But you know what happens to the sheikh? Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know where I got my ijazah from? Do you know who my teacher was? My grandfather was the grand muhaddith of this place and that place. Who do you think you are asking me questions? You think I went and become an alim? I went and spent 10 years, 12 years, 8 years, 5 years at this institution or that institution and studied at the helm of these scholars so someone like you can come and ask me questions? Watch yourself. Know your place. If that's not arrogance, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Baghyan, but it can't be asked questions. Insulted when they're asked questions. Insulted when questioned, well, where did you get that from? That doesn't quite sound right. Or I'm trying to understand better. We have to be respectful in how we ask questions. We shouldn't be like those idiots that are at conventions and they raise their hand and then they start yelling and like character assassinating the speaker at the convention. That's moronic behavior too. We should be respectful in when we ask questions. We shouldn't be afraid of our questions. If you have a question, you should ask. But find a respectful way of asking. And our leadership, especially our scholars, my advice to myself, who's not a scholar, and our ulama, our fathers and our elders, is take those questions with patience. And answer them knowing that people aren't in the position that you are in terms of understanding and having had the blessing of studying that knowledge. It's a gift Allah has given you that Allah may not have given somebody else, so you have to be generous with that gift and patient in delivering that gift. You know, teaching takes patience. If the Prophet ﷺ is told to be patient with Quraysh for 10 years, he's teaching the same group of students for 10 years who don't want to learn, then ulama, du'at, khatibs, speakers should be very patient with their audience who wants to learn. They want to learn. You should learn to be patient, you know. So anyhow, had Allah not wanted, a verdict would have been given already.